Okay. Kimbo, Kimbo, not the zombie. YAHKONGO. We praise all glory and honor and praise to Dr. Nzambi, YAHKONGO. It's late than an hour because the recording, I originally recorded this earlier and was in the process of uploading it, and come to find out that it did not record audio. So I have to do it all over again. But to Yah be the glory. Technology is not my friend. And so I struggle with technology. I'm used to standing up before a congregation of people and delivering what thus said the Most High Yah. All right, but so anyway, in this recording, in this video, I will be showing you and talking about the feast days being celebrated, how as a people we were supposed to keep the the feast of the Most High in the land where he chose to place his name, right? I will show you through scripture that in our individual houses, we're not supposed to keep the feast days. In individual churches, in individual assemblies, we're not supposed to keep the feast days. Only in the place where Yah has chose to place his name. And that was Salama, which is commonly known as Jerusalem, which is not in the little dirt desert country in northeast Africa. That is not the place where Yah chose to place his name. His name is YAHKONGO, and the place where he chose to place his name is the Congo. All right. So through scripture, I will show you and give you biblical scriptural evidence of that we're not supposed to be keeping the feast days in other places, but where he chose to place his name. Okay, so here we go. All right, first scripture, Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, 1 through 6, then verse 47. Okay. And Dr. Nzambi spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Engipedi, Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto the speak ye unto all the congregation of Isolale, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. A lamb for an house. All right. Okay. So let me back up right here. This month right here, the beginning of months, right? So according to the Gregorian calendar, the Roman Catholic calendars, that's what we're under. Most countries in the entire world, most, not all, but most countries in the entire world, they go under the Roman Catholic calendars, which is known as the Gregorian calendar, right? Pope Gregory. And there was a Julian calendar, which he was changed from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. That's the one we're presently under. Now, if you notice, I'm going to show you that in the Western Hemisphere, the calendar is going by the Western Hemisphere, and they're making the winter months the beginning of months, right? And the spring of the month is during the second season of the month, if you understand, according to the calendar. So it goes, according to the Gregorian calendar, it goes from winter, spring, summer, then fall. That's out of order of the Most High. Because you can't, there's nothing that grows in the dead of winter, right? Everything grows spring and summer. And like fall, some things, but that's just Western Hemisphere. So anyway, so what the point I'm bringing is that during the month of April, and when you look at which the organization I came from, they used the Ashkenazi calendar, where their beginning of months aligned with April, right? So their Abib lined up with the month of April. That's why you got Ashkenazi Passover and the heathen Easter lapped together, right? That's why those two are lapped together. They're both pagan origins and not according to scripture, right? So what I mean by that is when you see that how they do it is not according to scripture. That's because they're not Shemitic people. They're Japhetic people. Their line is Japheth. So anyway, so look at this. When is springtime in Congo, Africa? The Democratic Republic of Congo, date Saturday, September 23rd, 2023 to Friday, December 22nd. So I just went through this in my first recording. So I'm able to do it a little bit faster if I don't go off on a tangent. Okay. Anyway, so from the September 23rd to October 23rd is 1 month, right? From October 23rd to November 23rd, it's 2 months. From November 23rd to December 22nd as the States is 3 months. So when you go to the book of Enoch and he breaks down the division of time based upon the seasons, right? There's 3 months to a season. There's 3 months to a season. And sundown to 22nd is starting the summer months. So from December 22nd to December, January, February, March. From December to March is the summer in Congo. Okay. So that's when the beginning of months is supposed to be. Okay. That's where the beginning of months is supposed to be, according to this. This shall be unto you the beginning of months. So we have to understand and look at what scripture, the location of scripture. This is taking place in Egypt, right? They're in Egypt, which I showed you last week, that the continent of Africa is actually upside there. It's presented as upside down because in Egypt, Upper Egypt is actually on the bottom and Lower Egypt is actually on top. So when they have it, Lower Egypt is up here, and Upper Egypt is down here. Lower Egypt is up here. Lower Egypt is up here. Let me get my mind straight. Lower Egypt is up here. And Upper Egypt is down here. They have the continent flipped in their presentation. So every time you see a picture of the continent, it's always upside down. Okay, where north is up and south is down, but it's actually the opposite. South is up and north is down. So just think of whatever map you see in school, whatever, just flip the whole thing upside down, and that's how it's actually supposed to be to a certain degree. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Where is that? Okay. Land for the house. Okay. Let me skip down to 6. So I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Isolale shall kill it in the evening. So the next several scriptures I give you is showing you that we are supposed to be all together. We're supposed to be all together. The whole assembly of Isolale, right? We're supposed to be all together. Verse 47. All the congregation of Isolale shall keep it, right? So understand that no feast day stands alone. No feast day stands alone. So if he's telling you all the congregation of Isolale shall keep it, talking about the Passover, he's telling you for all of them. It's all included. I'm gonna show you that. Okay. In one house shall be eaten, thou shalt not carry forth in one house. Okay. So they were supposed to be all together in one place, right? So this is the preparation of them leaving, getting ready to go into the wilderness. And then once they go through the wilderness, then they go into the land. And once you get into the land, the situation has changed, where you're no longer in there's no tabernacle in the wilderness. They build a tabernacle and everybody gathers there to keep these feasts. All right. Okay. Verse 47. So, all the congregation of Israel shall keep it. Okay. Leviticus 20. Leviticus 4. Leviticus 4, 13 to 14. Okay. Let's see. And the whole congregation of Isolale, if the whole congregation of Isolale sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any other commandments of the Tata and Zombie concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin which they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. So once again, we did all things as a unit, right? So when we sinned, we're all supposed to make atonement, right? If we transgress, if a couple of us transgress, we all transgressed, basically. We are supposed to keep a watch. We watched for each other. So the system, the concept is, there's an old saying that it takes a village to raise a child, right? So us as a people, how we moved as a people is, if I see your son doing something, I'm gonna check him. If I see you doing something, I'm gonna check you. If you see me doing something, you check me, right? And if we supposed to bring it, if there's a problem between me and you, we're supposed to bring it to the elders, right? So basically, we moved as a unit. We moved as a unit, as many people moving as one man. Okay, that's what this dish I'm showing you, the whole congregation. Okay, all right. Okay, Leviticus 23. Okay. 1 through 4 and verse 10. Okay. 1 through 4. And Datan Zami spake unto Masa, saying, Speak unto the children of Isolale, and say unto them concerning the feast of Data and Zami, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feast. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of YAHKONGO in all your dwellings. These are the feast of YAHKONGO, even holy convocation, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Okay, in their seasons. So, right, this starts the first one. This is the springtime in Congo, right? So, all right, moving on. There's a lot of things I said in the first one that I did. So anyway, speak unto the children of Isolale and say unto them, when ye be come into the land, which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And ye shall wave the sheaf before Tata and Zombie to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. This is talking about the feast day Sabbath of unleavened bread. Now, we're going to start getting into, let me show you one more, because I'm going to start showing you, this is where the breakdowns takes place, where I start showing you that I have to get to it. I'll just get to it because I want to just like overemphasize, okay? Where this is talking about the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the first day of unleavened bread, okay? All right. Numbers 14. Verse 1 and 2. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Massa and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would to Yah that we had died in the land of Engipedi, or would Yah we had died in the wilderness. Okay, so why did I show you that one? It's because what I said before. Sorry, I gotta calm down. What I showed you, what I said to you before, that we did things, whether good or bad, we was together. We were good or bad, we was all together. If we did things in righteousness, we celebrated and we received blessing as a whole. If we sin and everybody sees, this is the understanding. This is the concept. When one person sins and is continue on sinning, it starts to spread throughout the whole assembly, throughout the whole congregation, throughout the whole land, right? That's what you see going on today, is because we did not check it like it's supposed to be checked. And we did not put a stop to it like the Most High said. If we had, none of this would be taking place. All the captivities that we have been through, we would not be going through. Okay. So we did things all together. So I'm just trying to show you proof of what I'm presenting, that we were supposed to be all together. Everything we did in righteousness, right? If one person transgressed, then we were supposed to check them, bring it before the leadership, for the priest or whatever, the nabis, whatever, and they counsel the Most High, and they dealt with it. Okay. All right, back to Exodus. Exodus 20. It's Exodus 20, verse 24. An altar of earth, and thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen, in all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. So it says here, all places, but he ain't putting his name all places. He's putting his place in a place. And I will show you that as we go on, right? That's 24. Exodus 23. Okay. Exodus 23. Okay. Exodus 23, 13 to 20. Okay. 13 to 20. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. So I'm about to do this again. That word circumspect means to guard. So the Yiddish word is samar. shamar, and it means to keep, guard, observe, give heed, to keep, have charge over, to keep, guard, watch, ward, protect, save life, watch, watchman, to watch for, wait for, watch, observe, to keep, restrain, treasure up, to keep within bonds, to observe, celebrate, keep, Sabbath or covenant or command, to keep, perform, preserve, protect, to keep, reserve. Okay. So in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect and make no mention of the names of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Okay, so the concept of circumspect, right, is everything, all the commands of the Most High were supposed to be treasured. They're supposed to be honored, right? So in other places, he says, it's like, you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me. Why? Because we keep the way of the Most High. We are the, say it. I forgot how to say it. The people of the way. I forgot how to say that. I forgot how to say it. I'm not even trying. I forgot how to say it. But we are the people of the way. However you say that in Congo. I said it before, but I forgot. Let it slip. My bad. Okay. And these things, his way, are, it's him. It's his presence with us, right? His word is his presence with us. And when we abide by those things, it's the spirit that's also with us. So anytime you go on the outside of what the Most High has said, you lose the spirit. Boom, he goes away. When we obey, the spirit is with us. When we disobey, the spirit's not with us. It's just that simple. And anybody saying that they have the spirit of Yah and don't keep his commandments is a liar. I showed you that in another video. Anybody that do not keep his commandments, his law, statute, and judgment, according to how he said, in any of these assemblies, the spirit of Yah is not there, because they're not keeping it according to how he said to keep it. We have to be together. He is not the author of confusion, because in all these individual assemblies in United States, South America, North America, Canada, Europe, Asia, Africa, there's no unity, because we are not all together as a people. What did he say in 2 Chronicles 7:14? If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from the wicked ways, then will I forgive their sins. I will hear from heaven, and I will heal their land. I know that's not 100%, but you have to understand at the beginning, if my people, It doesn't, he did not say if this assembly over here does it, I will heal the land. If this assembly over here, he said, if my people, we are supposed to be a unified body. All 12 tribes come back together to two sticks. The two sticks coming back together. And when we come back together, we're coming under Yaoundé. We will all be under Yaoundé, Judah. Sorry. Okay. Three times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Okay, here we go. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days as I commanded thee in the time appointed in the month Abib. That is this particular time specifically. So what was I? In the month Abib. So like I was saying before, the month Abib in the Ashkenazi calendar and the month April in the Gregorian calendar are meshed together. That's why you always get the Ashkenazi Passover and Easter during the same time, because they are actually celebrating the same pagan deity, the same pagan god. Because they're not doing it, they're not doing it, and they are. How can you keep what the Most High says using a pagan calendar? Right? So let me tell you a experience I had. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself in my head. Growing up, I was taught the feast days. This is why I'm able to teach this the way I'm teaching it, with knowledge and understanding, with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because I have experience keeping these. So my experience keeping these feast days, from the very first time we started, my father started teaching us the feast days, right? Every year after that, I dreaded in all my being was in dread of this feast day. In particular, the Passover in particular. I hated it. I had a disdain. I did it out of obedience, but my heart was really just not in it. I hated, I dreaded them coming around. But my heart desire was to please the Most High. He put that desire in me. I want to please the Most High. But when these feast days came around, it's like, man, I just, that the way I felt. But I fast forward another 30, 40 years or whatever. I understand why I felt that way, because it's not doing it according to the ways of the Most High. It's going against the ways of the Most High. because these are feasts of, see, this is why I always wondered, like, why am I feeling this way? And I'm supposed to be joyous. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be feeling just rejoicing in the Most High. But how can we with reasonable knowledge and understanding think it's okay to keep these feast days? And I'm going to show you that these are to be a time of rejoicing. Let me keep going with this, okay? As I commanded thee in the time appointed in the month Abib, for in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. How can you keep a feast day? I call it a feast. This is the feast of freedom. It represents the freedom of the Most High people. For in the time appointed of the month Abib, for in it, the month of Abib, whatever in the Congo language is the first month, I don't know. Thou camest out from Egypt, right? What does it say? All over scripture. When you see Egypt, it's always saying after they came out of the house of bondage. I brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Exodus 20. Let me go back. Exodus 20. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Tata and Zombie, thy Infumu, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. They're standing before Mount Sinai at this time. And the Most High is audibly speaking to the congregation. Out of the house of bondage. So if he is telling you here 3 times, thou shalt keep a feast of unleavened, maybe go back. 3 times shalt thou keep a feast unto me in the year, the feast of unleavened bread, for in that time appointed of the month Abib, for in it thou camest out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. None shall appear before me empty. The feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year, all the males shall appear before Tata and Zami and Fumu, and thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of Tata and Zombie, thy Infumu. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, to keep thee in the way, to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. So, how can you once again keep the feasts that he's given that represents freedom, that represent prosperity, that represent unity? because we were all supposed to do them all together as one people. We are not as one people in the land of our captivities, in our bondages. We are still in the time of our chastisement. Our chastisement continues because we are not together. And confusion is in the midst of us. That's why we're still in bondage. That's why we're still in bondage. Okay. So this 3 times in a year. So I'm going to show you in the book of Deuteronomy as I continue on. I'm going to show you in the book of Deuteronomy that this is a time where they brought the tithes also. So backing up a little bit, and the Feast of Harvest, you have 2 harvests basically. The Feast of Harvest, first fruits, and the harvest ingatherings. So this feast right here, Feast of Harvest, the first fruits, right? It is talking about the Feast of Weeks. The Feast of First Fruits is not separate from the Feast of First Fruits, which is also called Feast of Harvest, because this is the first harvest of the year. This was time of planting, where they planted already, and as the harvest goes, as the crop grows, they at the time of, it's supposed to be timed for when Abib comes around, right? It's close to harvest time, and 50 days after, which I'll show you in Leviticus 23, that they gather together for the Feast of Weeks, right? And it's called Feast of Weeks because they had the number to get to that particular feast. All right. Let me continue on. So 3 times in a year, right? Exodus 23. Did I get to 20? Yeah. Oh, so this angel, as you read about this angel, take your own time. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak. So who was the mouthpiece of the Most High? It was Moses. The angel is in reference to Masa or Mosi, however you want to say it. And do that all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. But we had to obey the voice of Yah through his angel, his leader, his messenger, his Maliki, which means messenger. All right. Leviticus 20. Leviticus 20, where's it at? Like there, no, that's Exodus 20. Let me get another one. Leviticus 20. Verse 1 through 3. Leviticus 20 to 3. And Tatan Zombie spake unto Massa, saying, again, thou shalt say unto the children of Isolale. So each time the Most High speaks, he's very specific. And when he tells Massa to say something, he says something to Massa, he will say, speak to this group or speak unto that group, being either directly to the sons of Aaron and his sons, or to the whole congregation of Isolale. That's it. Saying, again, thou shalt say unto the children of Isolale, whosoever he be of the children of Isolale, or of the stranger that sojourn in Isolale, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones, and I will set my face against that man and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given his seed unto Molech to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. We have to understand this concept that at any time, like the priest Eli, right? The Most High destroyed them because Eli would not chastise his sons when they did wrong. And because he did not chastise them, the whole lot of them. So when we do not chastise our children, when we disobey, when we let our children do whatever they want, when we do not teach them the ways of the Most High, when we do not teach them the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, we are sacrificing our seed unto this deity. So if you look up that deity, he looks like a frog. Like I said in the previous, that in several videos that Brother Trey did, he showed you what that deity actually looked like. I'm not doing all that. That's not my focus. So I've done it. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's that. That's up. So moving on. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Let me back up here. This right here. And make no mention of the names of other Els, gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So another another concept or another thing to think about is understanding the English language. I'm not a linguistic professional. I'm not a linguist, right? But I have done enough research to realize that the English language is a bastard language, and it derives from Latin, Greek, Germanic, and Slavic languages. And you look at the origin of those languages, and each one of them are pagan in their origins. They're pagans. So how can the English language be nothing but pagan? So that's why we have to be careful, because the English language is loaded with different pagan gods, different bad, foul spirits. We have to be careful of what we are invoking. We have to be careful of what we are invoking. When you use the name Jesus, that is invoking the Roman pig god. That's I kind of made a joke with my wife, because she actually is the one that showed me the picture, and I think it was her showing me. Sorry, anyway, it's a picture of, it's a depiction, actually. It's a depiction of the Roman army marching with the banner of the Roman pig god, Jesus, which is the pig god, Roman pig god, which is where they got the name Jesus. And I said, no wonder these Christians can't stop eating swine. I laugh, but if you really think about it, it has a lot of validity, because that's what they used to sacrifice. All right, just wanted to cover that. Not funny anymore, because when you get better understanding, just let you see, like, this is not funny. This is sad. All right. Leviticus 20:1-3. Did that one. Okay. Deuteronomy. Let me back up. I'm gonna go. I should use this platform right here. Deuteronomy 12:1-7. All right. And these are the statutes and judgment which ye shall observe to do in the land which Dr. Nzambi, thy Elimu, the Infumu of thy fathers giveth thee, to possess it all the days that ye live upon the earth. Ye shall utterly destroy all places wherein the nations which ye shall possess served their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. So back here, where the angel brings you into these places, whatever these, we know the Canaanites, all these are pretty much Hamitic tribes, I think. Nonetheless, they're pagan in origin. But this is where he was taking us, that the seed of Cain, or Canaan, stole our land, wherein in this book right here, The Legend of the Jews, it shows you uh yeah, right here. Let me blow it up. I didn't plan on going here, but it's in my mind. So okay. I see the problem here. So let me go a little bit smaller. Okay. Sham slip was inscribed the middle of the earth. So remember, I said that the middle of the earth is Congo because all the continents at this time were all joined together. All right. So this is Congo, right? So let me see. They're thus they're divided. There was divided 104 lands and 99 islands among 72 nations, each with a language of its own, using 16 different sets of characters for writing. To Japheth, da 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 da, Ham, da 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 da, language, Shem. Let's see. Characters of Shem. To either of his brothers, the extra set being, that's not the land. Okay. The land appointed as the inheritance of the 12 sons of Jacob was provisionally granted to Canaan. That's a lie. It says what that provisionally means. I told you before. Uh, Temporarily, but it was stolen. Let me see, where was it at? So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this and get off on a tangent on this. It says, I don't remember where it was, but there's a place in there I showed you before where they he Noah made a covenant. Noka made a covenant, and they all agreed that no other, you're not supposed to go in and wait a minute, I think that's right before. Let me see. Okay, this is right here. In turn, the three sons of Noka, while they were still standing in the presence of their father, divided each his portion among his children his children. Noah threatening, this is the covenant, with his curse. This is the curse. Any who should stretch out his hand to take a portion not assigned to him by lot. And they all cried, so be it. So in the book of Jubilees, I believe where this is another place in the book of Jubilees, it's a curse. So this was given to the Most High to Noka. So everybody that is trying to take places where that don't belong to them, curses upon them. All right. All right. All right. Let me go back. Let me get back to where I was. Deuteronomy. Okay. Sorry. I'll get off on a tangent. 12. This is 12. Yes. 1 through 7. Okay. The judgment. Ye shall observe to do in all the land which Datan Zombie, Ifumu of your fathers, giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye shall live upon the earth. There you go. So it's a standing curse. It's a standing covenant agreement. Ye shall utterly destroy the places where the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains, upon the hills, under every green tree. And that's a characteristic of the Vikings. They, you know, everything that they worship trees. All right, I'm not gonna get too into that. I'm sidetracked. And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down their graven images and their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. And ye shall not do so unto YAHKONGO, your Infumo, but unto the place which Tata and Zami, your Infumo, shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come. So the division of land given to Shem was the Congo. And the Congo back then covered a very large area. Matter of fact, it covered the majority of the continent. You have the DRC now, you have Uganda, parts of Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and wherever portions are, all that was the land of Shem. Right? Okay. And so as we began to grow, the land was divided to our offspring, to the offspring of our forefathers. Right? And the place where he chose to place his name was Salama, which is commonly known as Jerusalem. And it's not the Jerusalem that sit in the desert country of I'll just say it, Israel today. The Most High did not place his name in that desert country. I showed you that specifically last week. I broke it down, how it is where he said it is the glory of all lands. That's where he chose to place his name. The glory of all lands. That's the Congo, right? I showed you all the minerals, all the vegetation, just everything you need to prosper. We prosper because of the land. We prospered because of the land. The land is the most fertile land anywhere in the world. Okay. Where was I? But unto the place which Dr. Nzambi, your Mfumu, shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there. Even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come. So Angola, Kinshasa, I believe, was the place of Salama, the land of peace, the city of peace. And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and your heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your free will offerings and your firstlings of your herds out of your flocks. And there ye shall eat before Dr. Nzambi, your Mfumu, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein Dr. Nzambi, thy Mfumu, hath belaked you, blessed you. You do not get that in the land of your captivity. You don't get that in the land of your captivity. There's no blessing in the land of your chastisement. He will individually bless us because we are striving to be obedient, but the blessings we have now will not compare to once we get back into the land. The blessings we know not of is going to be revealed unto us, given to us once we get back into the land. Okay. 14, 22. Deuteronomy 14, 22 to 24. Okay. Even as the, okay, messed up. I messed up. 14. And thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year. So I told you, right here, 3 times in the year. 3 times in the year, all males shall appear before in the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, the feast of which is called the harvest. That's what I skipped. What happened to? Oh, I know what it is. Okay, never mind. Let me go back. Let me go back here so I can show you. So, speak unto the children of Israel, speak unto the children of Isolale, and say unto them, when ye become into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. So this is preparing for the Feast of Weeks. So let me continue on to show you what I was talking about. And ye shall wave the sheaf before Dr. Nzambi to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it. That is the first day of unleavened bread, right? You can't keep the feast in his seasons. In their seasons. You can't keep the feast days in their seasons in the land of your captivity, because the timing is off. You're not keeping it according to how he said it. You're not keeping it according to the timing. I showed you. Springtime begins the beginning of the year. This is the beginning of the year where he chose to place his name. All right. You shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf, a lamb without blemish, meat offering, 2/10 deals of flour made with oil, made by fire, sweet smell and savor, wine, fourth part of the hin. So not drinking the wine while you're doing this, you're pouring it out. Ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears until the self same day that ye have brought an offering unto your infumo. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Just because you're in a captivity, this is not in reference to your captivity. We're in captivity. So once I get to the place in Deuteronomy, I'm gonna show you what it says. When I get back to Deuteronomy, he shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought forth the sheaf of wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. So from the first Sabbath of unleavened bread, that's when you start the count, according to what I was taught. And you count 7 Sabbaths from that point. So a combination of 7s is a Sabbath. So 49 is 7 times, but 7 times 7 is 49. Then you count the day after is the Sabbath, which is 50. Okay. Even the morrow after the 7th Sabbath, ye shall number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Dr. Nzambi. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves. This is actually the part what I want to get to. 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Dr. Nzambi. So the 2 wave loaves, this is one they wanted to get to. The 2 wave loaves represents the 2 tables of stone that the Most High wrote his law on, that he said to Isaiah, or through Isaiah, that if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, which is the Muwanda, the Spirit of the Most High. So when you obey the law of the Most High, which is represented by these 2 wave loaves that we were supposed to eat before the Most High, we're in symbolically taking in the law and the statutes of the Most High that he commanded us, that it becomes a part of you, right? So when he told them to go into Salama to wait till you be endued with power on high, they was waiting for the outpouring of the Mwanda Semi. Right? Okay. So that's that part. Let me get back to Deuteronomy. I hope I'm not. Okay. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed. Slip off. This is Deuteronomy 16, 14, 20 to 22, 22 to 24. Year by year, and thou shalt eat before Tatanzami thy Infumu, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there. In the place which he shall choose to place his name there. The tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear Tata Nzami thy Infumu always. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which Tata Nzambi thy Infumu shall choose to set his name there, when Tata Nzambi thy Infumu hath blessed thee, thou shalt turn it into money and bind it up. So this is a refresher part. In thine hand, and shalt go unto the place which Tata Nzambi thy Infumu shall choose, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen or sheep or wine. So understand this concept is that we were in many places. So we were not just in a confined area the size of New Jersey. The continent of Africa is the biggest continent in the world. I told you before that you can get at least two seasons in one continent. In Congo, it could be one season, and in another part of the continent, it could be another season. Right? In the United States, you can get one season, it's winter, but the different weather patterns is based on East Coast, West Coast, whatever. So we are not in one small place. Where he gave us was a large land. Okay, so moving on. So when we got to the place where he chose, you if it's too much, if it's too far to carry, so you understand that the 3 times in the years were 4-month increments, basically. So for 4 months, you store up your tithes for 4 months, and then you bring it to Salama, wherever you are in Congo, right? That's a lot of stuff. So you turn it into money, you make your journey, and once you get to your journey, you bring it back into the original form as you buy oxen, sheep, wheat, wine, whatever, to present it before the Most High YAH. Okay. All right. Okay. 15. No. verse 20. And thou shalt eat before Tata Nzambi thy Mfumu, year by year, in the place which Yah shall choose to choose, thou and thy household. Okay. It's always where he chooses. All right, last one. 16. 1 through 6. Okay. All right. Observe the month Abib. I done told you. That's not the real name. That's an Ashkenazi name. It's not us, okay? But we understand this is not our writing, okay? Observe the month Abib, first month of the year. This is the Gregorian dates, but the season of them is spring. Spring, Democratic Republic of Congo. This is the springtime in this area. Okay. All right. Observe the month Abib and keep the Passover unto Tata Nzambi, thy Mfumu. For in the month of Abib, Tata Nzambi, thy Mfumu, brought thee forth out of the land, out of Egypt by night, out of the house of bondage. He brought you out of bondage. Thou shalt therefore sacrifice a Passover unto Tata Nzambi, thy Mfumu, of thy flocks and of thy herd, in the place which YAHKONGO shall choose to place his name there. His name is in the land. It's there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. For thou camest forth out of the land. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste. We are still in Egypt. This land is spiritual Egypt. So wherever we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, even in our own homeland, we don't operate like we're supposed to operate in our own homeland. The foreigners have invaded and brought in their way of life into our land. So you're still in bondage in your own land. That thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. This is spiritual Egypt. It is spiritual Babylon. It is synonymous. Babylon, throughout the scriptures, Babylon and Egypt are synonymous in their representation of bondage. If you are a religious person, you are bound, because the Latin word for religion, it means to rebind. So when we was in our land, and when the foreigners came in and invaded our land, they gave us religion. And the Most High let them do it because we would not act right in our own land. To be short to the point. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coast 7 days, neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrifice the first day at even remain all night until the morning. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates. Thou mayest not sacrifice the well, we're not sacrificing, we're just you're not supposed to keep it. If you are just celebrating, you're still sacrificing. That's the essence of this lesson. Any celebrating of these feast days in any of thy gates, in anywhere the Most High did not place his name, choose to place his name there in the place which YAHKONGO shall choose to place his name. Yahweh, Yahweh, whatever you want, whatever language you want to use, whatever name you want to call him, you ain't supposed to keep it any place but where he chose to place his name. You're not honoring him by keeping a feast which he has designated to be memorials of your liberation from bondage in the land of your captivity, in the land of your bondage. It goes against the whole concept of the Most High's blessings. It goes against the whole concept of it. Mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates, which YAH thy Fumu giveth thee, but at the place which YAHKONGO hath, but at the place which Thata Nzambi, thy Mfumu, shall choose to place his name in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt. Bondage. Egypt represents bondage. Babylon represents bondage. In the United States, they got, in Washington, D.C., they got the Washington Monument. If you go and look at different obelisks, they all look the same. They all represent the same thing. They all represent the same deities. The Washington Monument is an Egyptian obelisk. I see driving down highways where I live at, they have these little small obelisks, which is like out of place. Like, why is that there? But you see obelisks all over the United States, in Europe, in the Eiffel Tower is an obelisk. That's what it represents. So hopefully this is perfectly clear that we are not doing service to the Most High. We're not pleasing the Most High when we are in disobedience, trying to keep something that he has designated as a time of rejoicing, a time of gratitude, and just to be in ultimate celebration of all the things, all the things that the Most High has given us, our land, our sheep, our cattle, our crops, you know, and everything that the land gives us, we're giving back to the Most High. We're celebrating, we're giving to each other. We celebrate, we are together as one people in the land which the Most High gave us, not in the place of our chastisement, not in the place of our captivity, not in the place of our bondage, not in the place of our bondage. So this concludes this lesson. I hope we understand now that we cannot honor the Most High by dishonoring his law. He commanded that we keep his feast days, his appointed seat times, his appointed celebrations, his appointed feast, his appointed holy convocations, in the place where he did not place his name. He ain't placed his name in these individual churches. All these churches are in confusion because they're not together. So one thing coming from the organization I came from, I could never understand why in one city you have 2 or 3 churches. It never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. This is not the way of the Most High. So hopefully I gave you understanding. I gave you the scriptures. I broke it down as the Most High gave me to break down. And please share this with anybody that you know that keeps his feast days. The Most High placed his name in one place, not in many places. That's division, that's confusion. That's disharmony, that's disunity. That's the spirit of Satan, not the spirit of YAH. The spirit of YAH is unity. The spirit of YAH is love. We are a people that were family oriented. Mwanda. Family. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah face shine upon thee and be gracious upon thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. To Yah be the glory.